Okay.
Hello, everybody! It's good to see you all here on a nice, beautiful, sunny day. We're small numbers, but we're troopers. Before we start, let's continue our patriotic ways and sing "O Canada." O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glory hearts we see our true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Woo-hoo! That was awesome. Okay, I have a couple of announcements to make, but before I do that, there's something I need to say to you all. Since March of 2020, I've been making signs, waiting and hoping that freedom rallies would come to Cape Breton. When I found Freedom for Nova Scotia and met brothers Paul, Darren, Gord, and Joe at the fiddle, it was a happy day for me. That was December 5th of 2020. Since then, this movement has been my life. It consumes me sometimes, and the evilness I'm seeing on a daily basis does bring me down, as it does for all of you, I'm sure. So I wish to convey to anyone in this movement that if I have said anything or done anything, if I have offended anyone or belittled anyone, or I've had disrespected anyone in any way, shape, or form, I'm totally sorry. It is not my intention to alienate anyone here in this movement. I know it's been frustrating trying to keep this movement alive, keeping freedom alive these days. People are tired and they don't see a reason to continue. And if I have made it worse for anyone, it certainly was not on purpose. Therefore, I truly apologize wholeheartedly.
You don't got nothing to apologize. Everything's good, girl. We love you, Darlene.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep freedom, even if it kills me.
Yeah, Darlene.
However, along the way, I don't want to discourage people by saying anything to anyone that may hinder anyone here in this movement in any way. So please forgive me if I have wronged anyone at all, and if I have, I'm so very sorry. Okay, that said, speaking about our signs, I know that our signs have become irrelevant. As things change, our signs have to also change and reflect current events. Our current signs can be upgraded and recycled and reflect what is happening now. I've recycled a couple, as I've showed some people, to give you an idea of what I'm thinking. And I hope that some of you may like to grab a sign in the back of my car that are irrelevant, upgrade it and make it your own. There are many signs that have no relevance right now and could use a do-over. So, how do we tell people that our government is working at lightning speed to take our freedoms from us and turn our country into a post-nation state? How do we inform the public of these evil deeds when questioned on the spot? Early in the movement, it was much easier to answer the question of why we were protesting. Now the question is, why are we still protesting? Now that restrictions and mandates have been lifted, this has been the main question. Many are asking, what's the point? With some suggestions from others in the movement, having a total tool like a single double-page pamphlet that is to the point, simplistic, like the one that I printed that we've inserted in the Druthers magazines, that we can give to passerbys or cars that slow down And that way, if we're on the spot, we can give them the information and then they can hopefully look it up themselves. And if we're lucky, they will question, research, and maybe stop, get out of the car, and come join us. Okay. On to some announcements. This evening, there's a dance at the Ashby Legion from 9 till 1. World Circle will be playing. Tickets are $10 each. I have a few tickets remaining for sale if anybody wants one. I'd love to see you guys there and have a dance or two. We were going to do 50-50s today, however, I forgot them. But monies we've been raising is going to go towards the frontline, Canadian frontline nurses who are coming to Sydney on the waterfront July 17th. Also, Mama Bears and Police on Guard will be there joining them. There's one more event that our brother Vince has been wanting to do for weeks now, and that is have a Freedom Rally barbecue right here in front of City Hall. There has been no planning for this yet. Vince is out of town, so when he gets back, then we can make it an event. As a reminder to everyone that July 1st is no purchasing any gas day from any gas stations as part of the boycott plans across the country. Also for the month of July, we are boycotting all Irving gas stations in the Atlantic provinces. We must keep sending the message out there. If our politicians won't listen, then it's up to the gas station owners to make the complaints to Nova Scotia Utility Review Board and our provincial governments to end the carbon tax and the taxes on top of the taxes when it comes to fuel prices. Doing nothing achieves nothing, so let's try this boycotting Irving for the month of July. Okay, I'm not sure if you all have heard, on June 22nd, the House of Commons passed Bill C-11, the Online Streaming Act, that should be called the Online Censorship Act. That means whenever an ordinary user like yourself posts a video online, it could be subject to any number of broadcast regulations if the CRTC sees fit. Our fight is not over. The Senate has the power to act and fix Bill C-11, but they will only do it if they hear from you and me. Online legislation must respect our freedom of expression and our choice to freely watch the content we want. And C-11 does neither. It fails to respect our right to choose online content we want. Enough of us speak up. Senators will take action to protect our rights. Therefore, I urge you all to call or email our senators. Tell them to protect our free speech and oppose C-11. Tell them that this dangerous piece of legislation would open internet users to intrusive new government regulations that seem equipped to directly target freedom of speech rights of Canadians, with the potential for silencing anyone deemed harmful. Tell the senators to say no to Bill C-11. I have a list of all the Nova Scotia senators' emails and phone numbers over on the table if anybody wants to call them. Now on to greener pastures. The World Economic Forum wants to introduce your Green Social Credit Score, which is a new global individual carbon footprint tracker. The system would track where you go, what you eat, what you buy, where and how you travel. It would monitor and report how green individuals are behaving, which is part of their strategic outlook of responsible consumption. Its main goal is to introduce more ways for human surveillance. By using an app, the tracker would monitor travel routes and methods and reward users for making the correct choice. Can track individuals' carbon footprint, including what and where they eat, and have users earn points for earth-friendly habits. Even individually, these functions are worrying enough, but they combine to paint a very concerning picture of the future. The user would be motivated to do the right thing, even if they were provided the opportunity to do the wrong thing. So you have to question, what is the right thing? The tracker dictates what the correct choice is, thereby ensuring their surveillance over you. They will go at great lengths to control you and have world domination. Now, let's talk about food. Did you know that 9 food processing plants in the United States were destroyed in 2021, mainly through arson? And did you know that 86 food processing plants were destroyed in 2022, and we're only halfway through the year? Did you know that 30 of those plants were chicken farms that had over 30 million chickens destroyed forcefully or were destroyed by fires? And 15 of those chicken farms were egg producers. Never before in history has there been this amount of accidental destruction of the food supply chain. The global controlled demolition and destruction of food and energy infrastructure is accelerating by the day. Why are thousands of cattle apparently dying suddenly? According to corporate media, these sudden deaths are a result of heat. Yet cows are incredibly resistant and frequently endorse the same temperatures. But yet, no goats, chickens, pigs, or any other animal died of the heat, only these cows. The GMO industry is now seeking to replace beef, poultry, and fish with synthetic biology, cultured gene-edited meat, grown in petri dishes as a great reset goal. Their aim is to control population and create dependence on private companies that control the food supply. Did you know that Canada is now home to the world's largest cricket farm? Aspire Food Group of London, Ontario, a global industry leader in the production of edible insects, will generate 9,000 metric tons of crickets that can be consumed by humans and pets. Aspire claims to already have orders for the next 2 years, and around 4 billion crickets will soon be transferred to the facility.
Yeah.
With food rising costs worldwide, the company hopes more consumers will purchase crickets as a cheap source of protein. Just what the World Economic Forum wants. Sustainability, which means we eat insects and petri dish fake meat, while they, the elites, raise the cows and eat T-bone steaks. Because to them, we're nothing more than useless human eaters who don't deserve any resources and are to be doled out things like water sparingly. Do you want to eat crickets, insects, fake meat? No, me neither. The evidence is pretty clear, and the goal is rather obvious to this point: to deliberately and cold-bloodedly create destruction, to destroy human civilization, causing poverty, global famine, and to starve to death as many people as possible by any means. This is the Great Reset Food Edition, a new dystopian food system, a process of breaking down structures already in place so they can build back better with a more controlled and more corporatized food system of the world. They want a planetary health diet, conditioning children to eat bugs and seaweed, and gene-edited or genetically modified foods. It will mean stigmatizing meat eaters by rebranding these staple foods and imported food of all kinds as luxuries, and adding carbon tax or obesity tax on foods high in sugar or fat. Nobody knows how bad it could get except the people who are creating it. We are in the early stages of a food crisis. We're watching a global war being waged against humanity in real time, and only those who prepare will survive. So how do we prepare for what is to come? Because with this government, things are going to get worse, and if we don't want to depend on the government and their tyrannical measures, we need to prepare. How do we prepare for potential food shortages? First step is to know what foods to stock up on and how much you need, and start planning your own personal food storage approach. Stock up on non-perishable foods. This includes things like canned fruits and vegetables, dried beans and rice, These items can last for months or even years without going bad. So they're a good option to have on hand in case of shortages. Aim to have at least 3 months of non-perishable food on hand. This will help you get through any short-term shortages. You should also consider stocking up on water, as it may be difficult to find clean water during a crisis. Another way to prepare for food shortages is grow some of your own food. This could mean planting a garden in your backyard or starting a small farm. If you don't have the space or time to grow your own food, you can still participate in community gardening. Everyone who participates agrees to help with the upkeep and garden and shares in the harvest. Preparing for food shortages doesn't have to be difficult. By following some simple tips, you can ensure that you and your family will always have enough to eat. Don't forget about food preparation tools such as can openers, knives, pots and pans. You may also want helpful kitchen tools like wheat grinder, bread mixer, pressure canner, and mason jars for food that you get from your garden. Preserving your own food can last up to 2 years and taste much better than stored canned veggies. Another great way to prepare for food shortages is to reach out to your community. Sharing through barter and trade systems is a great avenue in getting things you may need in exchange for something another person may need. In this manner, we can all survive together. Currently, there are provincial barter and trade groups being organized all across Canada, with Nova Scotia Barter and Trade as well as Cape Breton Barter and Trade. I urge you all to join these Facebook groups, and we can learn to live freely away from the government tyranny. United, we can all survive the worst the government throws at us. United, there is power. Together, we can weather the storm ahead and be prepared. So what do we need? Unity and community. What? Unity and community. What do we need? Unity and community. Unity and community. Again, unity and community. Unity and community. Hoo-ah, fellow freedom fighters. Hoo-ah. Thank you.